Hey, what's going on, guys? So, I want to show you a video on something I'm going to be getting rid of tomorrow for myself and for one of my friends. So, quick story. Let's do a backstory on this. Back in 2015, I met this man at the flea market, and he was selling Magic the Gathering and Pokemon and just a bunch of antiques, so toys, games, and stuff like that. And he had some base set booster packs. He had for like $5, $10. And he was telling me a story on how anytime someone would open a holographic, he would offer a base set pack for that holographic. And he did that for his like first 7 booster boxes. He said he had 10 of them total. Well, in 2016, I mentioned that I was interested in getting a box, and I was wondering how much he would sell one if he had any left. He let me have one for $100. At the time, I was still a good number, and when I looked the price on the line, they were like $300, $400. I kept the box for a few months, and then it started climbing. It was like $600. So when it got to around $700, I went ahead and let go of the one I was gonna keep, because I mean that was a great turnaround, 5x in a matter of a few months. And I didn't get another one from him for never. I just never got another one. He wanted to keep his last 2 boxes. So, forward to 2020 in March, whenever all this stuff started going down, he saw the prices of a lot of stuff going up. Well, he said he had a guy come in from out of town asking him if he had any Pokemon. He still had 2 boxes left. This one and one other one. He told the guy current market price was 4,000. He wouldn't take less than 4,000. If he would do that, he'll sell him one. The guy snap bought it. He then made the joke to me a few months later, back like June. He's like, "This will probably won't happen anytime soon, but I don't know what I would do with myself if my last booster box would ever hit $20,000." And I laughed and I said, "You would have to sell. There's no way you can keep that. Even if it goes to $35, $45, $50,000, $20,000 is a lot of money. You could do stuff with that." He has vehicle problems. He has medical issues. He's an older man. He's in his 70s. So it's not like his children and grandchildren are going to need. I mean, yeah, they could do something with this, and it could be something down the road, which we'll get to in a second. But for something like this, you can immediately benefit from that. What's now fast forward to 3 weeks ago, and we were talking about how there's no way stuff like the base set packs, near mint, like mint pack fresh base set Charizard or base set 2 Charizard, or things like this. None of this stuff would just jump up out of nowhere. Well, that was kind of wrong. This kind of stuff just started going crazy. And this box hit around $22,000. And I called him up and said, "Hey, remember that Joker we were just having a few months ago? That's a reality, sir." He's like, "I don't believe you." And I go and I show him eBay and stuff. I think one had just completed for like $21,000. He's like, "Okay, let's be real. If it hits $25,000, I can't keep it. Let's sell it." Then a week later, one sells for $25,000, $25,100 to be exact. He's like, "Okay, that's fine. If you can find a buyer for $25,000, you get to keep 10%, and I will be happy with my $22,500. So I started shopping around for a couple guys, but he gave me the caveat was it had to be in hand, in person. Can't mail it. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose it in the mail. Has to be paid in cash or cashier's check, I guess. And he wants it to be done in a like a I guess a local scene. If they could come out here, it'd be great. Well, I had a buyer. Then he had some issues. He was doubting himself, and he backed out. Fast forward another week, the box is now selling for $30,000. I tell Richard, okay, well, it's back. It's still selling. It's going higher. I'm going to try to see if I can sell it again. Find a local guy. Well, I've got a kid out here. I call him a kid because he's so young at this. Who got me back into this a lot more than I expected. He knows a lot of guys in the Dallas-Fort Worth area that does the Pokemon scene. And so he got me in touch with Scott Emmer. If anybody knows who he is or if you've dealt with him, does a lot of high-end stuff like this. And I contacted him, and sure enough, he said he'll pay the $25,000 for the box. So we're going to be taking this up to him tomorrow. Well, that same day, the guy who regretted buying the box, or wanted to buy the box and then decided not to, contacts me and says, oh, I'm kind of interested in the box, but he really didn't. He had the money, but he had just done something. It was some personal stuff that I don't want to get into with it for him, but understandably, it was bad timing. But I wanted to guarantee. I didn't want it to be sold. Can buy it now, and then change his mind. Scott's not. He's like he's already got it sold. He's already got it taken care of. So this base box that he never wanted to sell, he's now selling because the market's right time. Like, I mean, I think $600 for this. We haven't talked about this. I'm thinking about just getting it graded, but this will come back at. It has an outside chance at a 9. It's really well centered, barely any whiting on the card. So we're gonna discuss on getting this one graded. This will grade this one's probably gonna grade an 8. It's got some corner issues. Hopefully nothing else. But we're going to travel up there to sell this stuff off. Now these, I just talked about a couple weeks ago where they were roughly $4,000, $5,000. Well, we've had since then a couple more sales, and they're now pushing $9,000 to almost $10,000. I don't remember if I mentioned this in the video, but I told myself if these ever got close to $10,000, it'd be time to let them go. So I'm gonna work on him and see if he will either buy them outright and he can make like 30% or 40% on them, or if he's willing to work on something with an auction that he makes 20% commission, then we'll do that. So these will not be in my possession, hopefully, when I come back. But I wanted to make a video on how the Pokemon industry is just blown up with the Logan Paul situation and all these other big names getting into it. I think another one recently sold for $375,000 for the first edition box. It's money that, yeah, it's nice and seeing how this is going on, but it's climbing a little too fast in my opinion. So if it gets to a point where people are going to start cashing out and we do hit the quote unquote wall and the bubble burst, it's not going to completely plummet, but we may not get back to these $8,000, $9,000 prices or $25,000, $30,000 prices, even though this stuff is so scarce. This is a shadowless card. This is a sealed booster box. These are a finite number of left. This one's going to be opened up and probably packed out for $1,000 a pack, $1,200 a pack, and this box will no longer exist. This box will be gone. This won't be gone. There's just not as many 9s because they were meant to be played when we were kids. So this stuff is not going to go anywhere. It's going to stay around with pricing, but may not be the exact price it is in today's market. Now, it could go up even more, which I'm not going to say it's not going to. I'm pretty sure it's going to go even higher, but I'd rather lock in some numbers now and be happy with my number, taking the risk, not taking the risk of it possibly going down and having less buyers. The market is saturated with buyers, but when it becomes a seller's market to a lower audience and it gets too expensive, the seller's market will now become the buyer's market, because the seller's market is going to be the people that have the cards and they're going to want to get rid of them because they see the numbers we're getting, but they're not going to get them because those buyers aren't going to pay that premium knowing that the market's going down, if you know what I'm talking about. The seller's market is great because there's a lot of buyers out there. A buyer market is great because there's a lot of sellers out there. So when it becomes a buyer's market, your numbers are going to go down. I want to cash in while the seller's market is great and there's enough buyers out there. But if it gets to the point where it's too expensive and like this $2,000 price tag should not exist on this card right now. I understand it's the iconic card of the game. It's not the first edition, so it's the alpha, beta, and unlimited. This is the unlimited version. But I never thought this would be at $2,000 at least until like my 40s. I mean, look at sports cards and stuff like that. So you just never know. This stuff could be double in price in the next 2 months for all we know. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I could be wrong. Well, I wanted to do this video out there and show you this box before it's gone. Cause yeah, driving there tomorrow. I get a nice little commission for taking care of this, and hopefully this will all be gone and I don't have any regrets on it. So until next time, guys, talk to you later.